Andrew Holland is with us, Chief Executive Officer, Avendus Alternate Strategies. Andrew, great to have you with us here back in the program. Thanks for your time. Nifty, by the way, is down 3 digits, 100 points. Just your thoughts on banks first, Andrew. A lot of excitement around that HDFC MSCI bid, but then since then we've given back that day's gains and then some. Your thoughts on not just HDFC Bank but large cap banks?
No, we still like them, Prashant. I mean, there's no doubt that some of the woes that we're seeing from certain banks are not reflective of the overall kind of banking sector. And I still think we got some we got some jobs data out of the US tonight, which if is more favourable, again we'll kind of have markets thinking about interest rate cuts. And I think that's where I still think the banking sector has to benefit from lower bond yields in India, after the inclusion in the JP Morgan index. So I'm still bullish. I think it's had a great run over the past 3-4 weeks, hasn't it? So a bit of news, you get your opportunity to buy some of the better banks would be my view at the moment. So I'm not so worried about this, but I think it's probably just taken the shine off the sector in the very short term after a fabulous run. So nothing to worry about. I still think the banking sector is going to lead the market higher.
Okay, the banking sector is going to lead the markets higher. By the way, it's 100 points lower now on the Nifty. It seems to be par for the course considering we've had such a big run in the last 6 months or so. A little bit of coming off, won't hurt anyone. And it's HDFC Bank that's really bearing the brunt of it this morning. Andrew, hi, good morning. How are you feeling about the market now? We have a big event upon us, which is the union budget. And this time looks like the government has some legroom for some populist measures, right? Given the kind of tax collections we've had, the RBI dividend as well. So maybe that's what the street is factoring in as well, some positives over there. But how are you feeling about it from a market perspective? What are the 2 or 3 things that you're watching out for?
So I think the market's factoring in all positives, right, in terms of government capex, the fact that they do have that wiggle room in terms of the deficit, given the RBI dividend to put more money towards the rural economy, whether that's in affordable housing or elsewhere, we'll have to wait and see. So I think that in the run up to the budget, you might see other sectors such as the consumer sectors and kind of those which would be beneficiaries of any kind of move towards affordable housing like paints and steel and so forth, that those sectors could help propel the market higher along with the banks and the IT sector. So that's my view. Thereafter, a lot will depend on if there's any tinkering around with capital gains tax, because that's the market saying no, that's not going to happen now. I'm not so sure that would be the case, but let's see.
Hi, Andrew. Good morning. Before we get to markets, who's the favorite for Euro?
Well, I've just come back from Germany and unfortunately having watched England play dismally. I'd love to say England, but it looks more like Spain to me.
Spain to you, all right. I'll go with the Dutch. I don't think they've won anything for the last 40 years. So continue my losing streak. But let's see. I think England has its chances to get at least to the Final Four. Talking about markets, Andrew, what about the telecom space? We were anticipating price increases. They have come about. Stocks rallied in anticipation. And today, some various articles are indicating maybe Jio's IPO could be around the corner as well. How do you view this space?
No, I like this space. I like the telecom sector. I think it's been in the doldrums for a very long time. And I think, with the increases that we've seen and what you just mentioned about a potential IPO, I think all the stocks within this sector will see very, very strong gains over the next 6 to 12 months. So I think this is a sector which has been kind of not out of favor, but not loved very much by the market. And I think now the growth potential is going to start coming back. And I think we'll see a lot more brokers getting more positive about not just the earnings growth, but share price targets as well.
Okay. Also on consumption, right? Overall FMCG consumption. Now that the expectation is that the monsoons will pick up as we head into the latter part, July and August, there are a lot of these rural plays that are coming back in a big way. I mean, this morning you have HUL, Britannia that are up in the green. Hero MotoCorp has come back in a big way. Tractors, there's an expectation that things will pick up. Is this a theme that you like, or do you choose to stay away?
I think it's a short-term theme that I would like to play ahead of the budget, but I'm not sure that it kind of translates so quickly into kind of earnings growth for these companies. So maybe tractors a little bit quicker, but certainly for the likes of some of the larger FMCG companies, it doesn't move the needle so quickly. It will take time to happen. So that's why I'd rather kind of be maybe short-term position, more long in consumer stocks, FMCG stocks ahead of the budget. But if I was to put a bet, I would have IT as my kind of, where I think earnings have bottomed out, and the likelihood of growth starting to pick up in the second half of this calendar year will start to play through as well, as interest rates start to fall in the US as well.
Just a word, Andrew, on any of these defense names you own in your portfolio?
We don't, but it's a sector which will continue to do well. The government's going to be spending money on defense, renewables, power. It's not going to go away for us for many, many years, Prashant. So, in terms of for investors, it's a great sector to be involved in.
I just want to put up this Shilpa Medicare. We should put the stock up. It was up 5-6% at open. It's up 14% now. So that's a significant news flow, actually, which came through yesterday, post-market hours. They disclosed to exchanges with regards to, I think, an approval that they've got, and then they've got some licensing revenue coming through with a large US company placing an order. We'll try and have the company on the program and ask them about it, but 660 now on Shilpa Medicare, almost. So that's a big mover. Pharma, Andrew, anything you like there? That's again another sort of sector which comes up quite often when one speaks with investors, etc.
Yeah, again, it's been an unloved sector. It's something that we're not really focused in on. I think IT is where we think that they will get more gains in the kind of next 6 months than pharma from where we are today.
IT will see more gains than pharma. Okay, that's interesting. But do you see any reason, Andrew, for this market to correct? We haven't had a correction for very, very long, right? Forget about a bear market. There's not even been a 15% correction, something that you generally get to see every year. Do you think there are reasons to believe that we are headed into some sort of a correction in the next, 6 to 12 months?
Yeah, I mean, we've been looking at all the negatives, not just for India, but globally as well, which have a very short-term, negative impact, and nothing's pushing the markets down significantly at this stage. So, not just in India, but globally, a lot of funds have been sitting on cash and they're just having to deploy. There's a narrative that, in the US now, if Trump gets in, that, it's going to be good for equity markets, bad for bond markets. So, that's another factor you have to play. So, money's going into equities. So at the moment, I could give you a whole host of negatives, but it's just not playing out in the market. Something will trigger, it always does. But whether it's that big correction, I'm not sure. For India, obviously anything in the budget which would be, more market unfriendly, such as capital gains tax, could have that impact very short term.
So just a quick word, Andrew. What do you own? What are you long on? And what are you short on? I mean, we can talk names, maybe you can give us a flavor of where you're at sector-wise.
Sector-wise, we're kind of more long on the overall financial sector, along with consumer FMCG, and we're kind of I say hedging that really with some of the metal stocks.
Okay, all right, Andrew. Wishing you a good day ahead and all the best with regard to England's game tomorrow. I think and tomorrow evening.
I think there's one tonight and then there's one tomorrow.
Yeah, there are two tonight and two tomorrow. So England plays tomorrow and the Netherlands plays at midnight. So let's see. Hopefully, by the next time we chat, England could be champions. We hope. Okay.
That's all, Nigel. Thank you.